Hello everyone, my name is Ivana. If you're going through a hard time right now, I really hope that this video resonates with you today. But I want to go over the 5 biggest lessons that I learned in 2025 that have completely transformed the way that I view life. I want to start off by saying that 2025 was a really hard year for me, and maybe it was for you too. I feel like 2025 was a hard year. Can you stop it? Don't mind the noise, it's my cat playing with my slipper. He's actually very cute. I want to show you. Oh, he's adorable.
Stop it, stop doing that.
I had to lock him out. It won't let me record. So, if you're having a hard time right now, I really hope that these 5 lessons that I learned this past year that have completely transformed my life for the better, I hope they help you. If they do, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I'm trying to put these messages out in the world so that we can help one another and grow a community of people that support each other. That is my goal with this YouTube channel that I'm going to be putting more effort into. So make sure to help me out if you can. And let's get into the video. Okay, so number 1 lesson. This is the most important thing that I've learned. Love God above all things. For years, I was very into fitness, very into health, nutrition, working on myself physically a lot. It's been just a passion of mine, fitness. But I was neglecting the other part of wellness, which is mind and soul. This analogy I got from Becky G. She said in a podcast something that I really like that has stuck with me, and now I use it for my clients. So imagine a table, a 3-legged table, 3 legs, okay? What's the purpose of the table? The purpose of a table is to hold things, to withstand weight, okay? So if we are that table, the 3 legs are mind, body, and soul. If one of them is not working properly, what's gonna happen? The table is not gonna be able to fulfill its purpose of holding things. Well, it's the same in our lives. If we are not watering one of those areas, then we're not gonna be able to withstand whatever comes our way. And I'm not saying this like in the sense that like we're here to withstand things, but if we want to live a good life, first of all, we're not placed in this earth to stress about our lives. We're not. We are here to enjoy the blessings that we have. If one of those areas is not working properly, we are not going to be able to receive all the abundance, all the things that God wants us to receive. I grew up Catholic, and then I was a little bit distanced from it, or a lot distanced from it, in like my high school years. And I always believed there was a God, but I was not practicing my faith. And then I came back to it at a really low point where nothing was bringing me joy. I felt so depressed. I had gone through a major life crisis after I graduated university, and I was going through a breakup, and it was just like my world was tumbling down. I don't think I've shared this with anyone before, but I remember actually consider like what's the point of living? I'm not saying I was having suicidal thoughts, because I was not. If you're there, I really encourage you to seek professional help, because I'm just sharing this as kind of like my experience. I'm not trying to give advice to anyone in that sense. But anyways, I was just thinking really, what's the point of living if I was not experiencing actual joy? Talking with this family friend, I was sharing with her things that I hadn't shared with anyone, that I was going through a really hard phase and nothing brought me actual joy and stuff. And she looked into my eyes and she was talking about the peace of God. That was God speaking to me. If you are not familiar with what the peace of God is, it is basically experiencing this kind of peace that you cannot get from anything in this world. No money, no success, no achievement can bring you this, but just God. And she looked at my eyes and she said, the peace of God is like nothing you've ever experienced. And I was amazed. I was mesmerized. I was I want that. I was I want that. So from that point on, I started seeking God. And the more you seek, the more you find God. I think it's Jeremiah 11? No. Okay. So Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. That is not the verse that I was thinking of, but this one I really like too. God wants us to prosper. We are children of God. He wants us to prosper and have all the things that we want, not just material, but all the joy, all the peace, all the prosperity that we deserve. But if we do not follow him, we're gonna feel that our life is a hustle, and we're gonna feel constantly stressed, we're lost, we don't know our purpose, we're not aligned. And when we're not aligned with all those things, we cannot experience the peace of God. I really spent 2025 getting close to God, and I had a lot of hardships, but I would always just seek God, seek God, seek God. And because I did that, I was being obedient in my faith, and I was able to bear fruit in all the things that I cultivated in that season, in that harvest. Or plant the seed, the sow, something in the Bible about the sow will give you the reap the harvest, or something like that. Don't quote me on this, but I know what I'm talking about. I just can't put it into words. But yes, seek God above all things. Seek the kingdom of God, and everything will be added to you. Everything will be added. We're not here to seek after material gain. We're not here to seek after money and success. Like, all those things are actually things that the world promises that it's gonna give us happiness and success. But if we get to the top, if we climb that mountain and we didn't do it with God, then we're gonna feel so empty. Time and time again, there's stories of success, like super successful people that had like all the wealth, all the everything, and they were feeling so broken and empty. So we do not want to do that. So I really encourage you that you surrender your life to God. Jesus is the truth. When Jesus was on earth, he came to show us how to be prosperous. Through him, we can experience God. I learned to let go of trying to control everything, because when we try to control things and outcomes, we experience so much stress and anxiety because we cannot control life. Life is happening for us, actually. So if we relax and we trust that everything that is meant for us will find us, then we stop resisting. We actually open up the gates to receive more blessings. So this has been a hard one, especially because throughout my life, I have been very perfectionist, and I set my mind on something and I have to get that thing. I'm also a Gemini, by the way, so if you know about astrology, that makes a little bit of sense. But it's been hard to let go of trying to control everything. But the more I practice, the more I do it, the more I actually experience more peace, less stress, less anxiety, and more blessings flow into my life. I don't have to push, I don't have to hustle, I don't have to grind. I've been listening to a lot of videos by this guy, his name is David Bayer, and he talks a lot about the metaphysics and energy and faith and stuff. And I have really learned a lot from him. I'm gonna put it down in the description box because I feel like I've learned so much over the past month just by what he has to say. Like, it looks like he's very put together. Like, all his life is just like he's thriving, and he just shares with the world what he does. And I've just learned a lot from him, and I've incorporated things that he talks about, which have helped me. So now I'm helping you. So go watch him because that helped me, and I want to help you. So, I need to breathe. Anyways, that was my biggest lesson of 2025. And then, okay, lesson number 2. Do not escape pain. Rather, look to transmute it. We are all trying to escape feeling bad. Well, I don't know if we're all doing that, but I am. I was. Not anymore. I was. I've been always very like positive and like uplifting kind of person. I do not like to sit in pain and in sorrow, and I do not like to sit in negative emotions. So for a long time, I would try to look for just feeling good all the time. But now I'm switching into trying to, rather than escape the pain and not feel my emotions that for a long time I was suppressing because I didn't want to feel bad, I didn't want to feel sad, I didn't want to feel all these things. But what happens if you do that is that all that energy gets stuck inside of you. So everything in this world is energy. We're made up of cells that are vibrating with energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. That's like the first law of thermodynamics. If everything is energy and energy enters us, emotions is energy in motion. That's why they're called emotions. If we have an emotion that gets stuck in us and we don't process that emotion, what happens is that it's gonna start building up that energy, and then it's gonna have to come out somehow. Then we do something that we didn't want to do because we're in this reactive mode, and then we feel worse about ourselves, and then we blame ourselves, and then we experience guilt and shame, which are one of the lowest emotions because they have the lowest vibrational frequency. So it's just a whole mess if we do not process our emotions. So what I learned is, rather than trying to resist feeling the bad emotions or the bad emotion, because like emotions are just emotions, but we label them as bad, is just looking to transmute that. So something that I've been doing a lot when I feel like I'm sitting down, I'm doing a lot of work, and then I feel so like flustered and like overwhelmed, that like mode that I'm just not even thinking clearly. I'm just trying to get work done, but the ideas are not flowing, just constant stress. What I've been doing is that I get up and I do something to shake it off, whether it is playing with my cat and running around. I did that just now. Or just like shaking it off, or playing music and singing or dancing or something like that to transmute that energy that we do not want to feel and get it out of our body. And another thing that I've also been doing is doing a lot of breathing. So when I notice myself that I'm very overwhelmed, I pause, even though sometimes it's hard to pause for me, but I'm working on it. I pause and I just breathe. And I feel the frustration inside me. I'm noticing that I'm frustrated and flustered, and I feel that. And then just by feeling it, then it just exits your body. It's kind of like a wave. So like if there's like a wave coming, you're not gonna be able to stop the wave. But if you're just still and then let the wave pass through you, then it's gonna keep going. I didn't want to feel emotion, so I would just try to resist it. But then it creates so much more bad stuff in us. So we do not want that. We want this year to process our emotions. So I encourage you to practice that. A really good book that has helped me understand more about this is called The Power of Now. I recommend 100% that book. This is the second time I read it. I'm also gonna put it in the description box. Yeah, that's lesson number 2. Lesson number 3, get comfortable with uncertainty. Nothing in this world is certain. In our human nature, we are wired to survive. So we are wired to stay in our safe comfort zone. To grow, we have to go through the uncomfortable to be able to make new neural connections, neural paths, so we can learn a new way of living. We have to evolve. Everything on earth evolves. Like a flower it blooms and then it dies. The seasons come and go. Summer comes, summer goes, and then winter comes. In winter, animals are hibernating. It's a season of rest, it's a season of pause. And summer comes around and everything blooms again, and everything is bright and fresh, and there's lots of energy. Everything happens in cycles. We also have to keep evolving through those seasons and keep growing, because whatever can't grow will eventually lead to death within ourselves. Also, over time, we have to let parts of ourselves die so that new parts can emerge. Maybe habits that were sustaining you for so long are not working in your current situation or your current life anymore. So then we have to let go of those parts of ourselves so we can give birth to new ones. Something that I pray about a lot is getting comfortable with the uncertain. Only God knows what's best for us, even more than we know ourselves. He is in control. If we surrender our life to Him and trust in a loving God that wants us to prosper, then what was my lesson? We can learn to be comfortable with uncertainty. I had this habit of really having my day planned out in my head. So for years and years, okay, I have to do this, in this order. And there's nothing wrong with planning and having structure, but my problem was that I was trying to control every single outcome when I wasn't even there. I would make time slots in my head, like from this time to this time I'm gonna go to the gym, and from this time to this time I would do this and this. But then things happen that just come our way that are not obviously we couldn't predict. And if it's not in the plan and we're trying to stick to a plan that we had made, then we're gonna experience so much stress and anxiety because it's not working out how we think it should be working out. So it's been a journey of trying to let go of that control for me. But the more I pray about being comfortable with uncertainty, the more I actually am. But I'm no longer just placing super strict time frames in my head and really beat myself up and think that I'm not committed enough, I'm not disciplined enough. And I was like in this constant loop and cycle, and I'm like, that is not true. Like, I am very disciplined, and the things of that discipline I have got so far, these are just lies that the enemy wants us to believe. So by just praying, give it all to God, all your problems will be solved. Like, problems actually don't exist. We just label them as problems. But every situation that comes this way is to teach us something so we can rise above it and become better. And number 5, gratitude changes everything. Gratitude is the key to happiness. You cannot have a grateful thought and a worrisome thought at the same time. You cannot. Everything is energy. In consciousness, there's kind of like energies floating all around, and we choose to tune into certain energies. We have the power to do that if we're so present and we are able to process and feel our emotions. And if you're feeling anxious, you are able to bring yourself to a point where you're in neutral again, so you can tune into the next energy. We have to first be able to do that within ourselves and really control our internal state, or not control, but be in command of our internal state, so that we can receive what is meant for us. If you are thinking about all your worries, then you're vibrating at this frequency that you cannot vibrate if you want to create. Practicing gratitude puts your focus on the things that you already have and that you're grateful for. Energy flows. No. Where your focus, I always forget the order. Where your focus goes, energy flows. Yeah! So if you focus on the bad, you are going to see more bad because you're giving all your energy to that. And you're going to find things that are going wrong. Especially if you're a problem solver like me. If you're a problem solver, it comes a point that you're just looking for problems to solve. So if you're looking for problems, you will see problems. And that's the problem. That's the problem. For myself, I wanted to be more in a state of peace. Changing your perspective and really focusing on what you're grateful for and what is working and what you do have and what you have today that you prayed about and you wanted for so long and now you have. But if you're constantly focusing on what you don't have, then you're going to experience more of those feelings and attract more of that into your life. Gratitude will change everything for you, and it's just as simple as just naming things. Sometimes I do it if I'm driving, I'm just saying out loud things that I'm grateful for. Or in the mornings, what I've been doing is that I've been journaling things that I'm grateful for, and it really changes everything. So those are my 5 top lessons that I learned this 2025 that have completely transformed my life for the better. More financial abundance is coming my way. I am getting more work done by being way less stressed and burnt out. Like at one point I had 4 jobs. You can imagine how constantly working, or at least for me, if I was relaxing, I felt guilty because I was not generating, and that is not the right mindset to have. It's not sustainable. We have to rest, we have to recover, and we have to rest our minds too from constant stimulation to be able to come up with solutions and ideas. And if we are not in that peaceful energy, it's just not gonna come. The answer is not gonna come. Where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought. But anyways, I just want to share those 5 top lessons. I really hope that they help someone out there. And if they did help you today, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting more content like this, maybe, or maybe some vlogs. I don't know yet. I am getting excited to do YouTube again. Maybe you can actually comment down below what you want my next video to be. It can be anything. I'll do it. But yeah, I really hope you liked this video. I really hope it helped someone, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.